Last April, new Maricopa County Sheriff Paul Penzone announced that he was shutting down Tent City. And just last week, the last of the tents were put away. Cronkite News reporter Patricio Espinoza was there, and today he tells us what life was like inside Tent City.
One by one, the last of Tent City came down, a day many thought will never come.
The stage that we're in now is the teardown. It is taking those structures down, bringing them down to the ground.
Opened in 1993, Tent City was former Sheriff Joe Arpaio's creation, a place he once promised to never close down. At one point, more than 1,000 inmates were housed here. 52-year-old Tony Kersnarich was one of them. After a DUI in 2016, he ended up in Tent City.
You had a lot of time to think, At night, you couldn't sleep as easy as you could with your own bed. You're in a bunk with a bunk above you or below you.
This is it. We're talking about one tent, approximately about 28 beds, and here's pretty much where inmates, men and women, not all in the same tent, will spend their days outdoors.
You wake up pretty much with the light. As soon as the sun comes up, you're up. 24
years have passed since the first tents went up. But in a matter of minutes, metal cutters easily took down the green canvas. The world this former inmate remembers, a place he says where only one thing kept him in check with reality, then and now.
The watch reminds me of the time that I spent in Tent City. It's just a little reminder of my past, which I don't dwell on, but it's important that we learn from it.
In Tent City, Patricio Espinoza, Cronkite News.
More than 700 inmates have already been moved to different facilities across the county. And Sheriff Penzone says the shutdown of Tent City would save about $4.5 million to taxpayers. Money he wants to reinvest in new programs for inmates and better salaries for his deputies.